Alright, boys, ladies, gentlemen, and gentle ladies. Today we're going to be talking about how Rell combat is one of the most, if not the most, unique combat system we have ever seen on Roblox. Now you're like, what do you mean? How is this so unique compared to other games? Well, if you compare it to the GPO before they had evasives, it's completely different from that. Like, completely. I mean, it's sort of close, but like, it's completely different. And if you compare it to Deepoken, it's extremely different. Now, I want you to think of a game or two and think of how combat is in that game. It doesn't just have to be PvP, but it can be PvE too. I'll wait. And while we're waiting, hey, why don't you hit that, sub, like, comment maybe? Anyways, now that you've thought of a game, does that game have it so if you use a move at the same time you'll be knocked back, aka clashing? Does that game have clashing? Does that game also, emphasis on also, does that game also have parrying? Does that game also, emphasis on also again, have an evasive? And finally, does that game also have like hyper armor, a shield, for when you get thrown at a floor, wall, or etc.? Probably not. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is that Rell has one of, if not the most in-depth combat system out there. The combo potential in this game is going to be crazy. Like, they have made it so you can't really do an infinite, you physically can't. It's impossible to do an infinite combo in this game, unlike GPO before the evasive. Unless you have two people fighting you that are like throwing you back and forth. Fighting one dude, you basically cannot. Especially because of the hyper armor or shield or whatever it's called. Now, I want to talk about how they changed up combat from what we've seen. Like, the stuff you're seeing in the background isn't the finalized combat, but they made it a little bit faster, which thank God, because it was feeling really heavy. How long is this? 2 minutes? Alright, so we're gonna talk about how fruits have their own M1s. Like, when have you ever seen that in a One Piece game? Never. Well, other than Blox Fruits, which has what you might call it, an ice sword and a light sword, but it's not really doing much. Like, Quake and Flame have M1s, which is the weirdest thing, because you would think like these fruits wouldn't have M1s. We can also talk about the fact that there are cutscenes. There are cutscene moves in this game. Unlike other One Piece games, Blox Fruits, King Legacy, literally every other One Piece game except GPO, which has one cutscene in it, I'm pretty sure. Which just adds another aspect of like you really feel immersed. This game's combat is so immersive, it's actually insane. Like, just watching the devlog, it really felt like they were actually hitting each other and not just like punching air, which is what most One Piece games or just games in general kind of feel like, other than Jujutsu Shenanigans, which I've recently gotten addicted to, aka I played it once and thought it was a pretty cool game. That game, it actually felt like I was hitting people. It really actually feels good. And just by seeing what they're doing with Rell, you know the game is gonna feel fluid. You know the game is gonna feel amazing. The combat is just going to be peak. And no glazing, but this game is going to be peak. That is like 100% glazing. I'm sorry. I have to glaze this game. It's literally the only good One Piece game coming to the platform, other than Golden Piece Adventures, but that's literally never coming out. I'm sorry to all you Golden Piece Adventures lovers. I'm sorry. Game's never coming out. You might think Rell isn't coming out, but it is. Anyways, I'm yapping. Peace. See ya.